Zelda is one of our favourite series here at BitSocket, and we bloody loved Skyward Sword when it came out. I've been playing through it again in hero mode, and I love it even more this second time around. But man, see all yous on the internet, yous can't help yourself sometimes. I've seen Skyward Sword be called everything under the sun, a disappointment, rubbish. I've even seen someone call it a failure. The thing is, I've dug around all these flaws that yous are talking about, and on every count yous are wrong. Here are my top 5 things that you got wrong about Skyward Sword. Number 5. The stamina bar's annoying. I've seen folk getting annoyed at the stamina bar, and all I can think to ask is, do you even like games? Giving Link a stamina bar for sprinting and climbing turns the whole world into a playground. You're constantly testing yourself, seeing how far you can get Link without running at a puff, and it adds that beautiful risk-reward dynamic to tricky climbing bits. It's genius. It also means that this Link feels like the most agile of them all. He feels like a freerunner, clambering over obstacles with skill where old Links used to be a bit more pedestrian, simple. Number 4. The game's too hand-holdy. I'll admit it, Fi or Fi can seem a bit overbearing sometimes, stopping to warn you about this and that, like your worried ma telling you not to play with the big boys across the street. But she's not that bad, and the writing for her script helps flesh out her character in a way that helps alleviate the hand-holding. And those seemingly endless amounts of screens telling you what kind of bug you picked up. Look, you only get them once per session, and if it wasn't for them, I'd forget what half the stuff I picked up actually was. Number 3. You have to centre the controls every 2 seconds because they're broken. Oh, this one does my nutting. Endless forum posts talking about how the controls are broken will do that. Listen to this and listen well. The controls do not lose centre every 2 minutes. If you need to recentre the controls, it's your own fault. Follow this simple guide and you'll never go wrong. Before you select an item that requires you to aim or look at a map or anything that involves accurate pointing, hold the remote in a neutral position before you select the item. Do you remember the old N64 manuals you never read properly, and how they told you that when the console turns on it takes whatever position the analog sticks in to be neutral? Aye, the same applies here. So see if you pull out your slingshot where you're pointing the remote to the ceiling like an idiot, you've only yourself to blame for not being able to hit anything. Number 2. Oh, there's too much backtracking. Ocarina of Time is a game where you complete a bunch of areas and then return to them later on to complete them again. A Link to the Past is a game where you complete a bunch of areas and then return to them later on to complete them again. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Returning to the same areas has been part of Zelda for ages, so why does Skyward Sword get singled out for having too much backtracking? It's not even backtracking! When you go back to the forest or the desert, you open up whole new expansive areas and new ways to play. At one point, the forest completely transforms. You never do the same thing twice, so just enjoy the experience. And while we're talking about the world of Skyward Sword, a lot of folk complain about the fact that the main areas are pretty disconnected, and you have to go through the Sky Hub to get to each area. A bustling central town surrounded by a small hub that connects to separate puzzle-filled areas. The last time I saw that in a Zelda game, it was Majora's Mask, and that's one of the greatest games I've ever played, so you'll hear no complaints from me. And number 1... It's the same as every other Zelda game. Okay, here's the one that gets in my tits. While Skyward Sword takes a lot of cues from other Zelda games, it's also completely its own beast. It marks a massive departure from the standard Zelda template. The brilliant motion controls transform combat, the stamina bar changes the way you move around locations, the story is sparse, but it allows the game to plonk you into these massive worlds and just get about solving puzzles and working your way through the hostile environments. It's a solitary, pretty hardcore experience with role-playing elements that make it unlike any other Zelda game. It is, without a doubt, a monster of a challenge, and it's a joy to play. Give Skyward Sword another shot. Honestly, it's one of the finest, most satisfying adventures that I've ever played.